Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Off the Board, a series that Crystal Barrett is doing at Pineapple Papers, and she's doing a pin, she's scrapping a pin off Pinterest every day. I'm just doing Fridays. So this one is my pin. It's been on my, I pinned it a long time ago, and it's an amazing layout, I think, because of the layers. I really like the sandy colors in addition to the blues, and I like the contrasting oranges and so forth. But I'm going to do mine a little bit more monochromatically. I'm going to add in a little purple because my granddaughter's in the photos is wearing wearing purple swimwear. So we'll see. I'm going to use a cut file. What I'm doing right now, first thing, is ink spray on the cut file. I've cut it was all one piece. I've cut it in two, and I'm now spraying colors that kind of tie in with the colors I'm using. And I picked colors obviously not because the sprayer works, but let me try these. I'm kind of trying to vary the colors, and I'm also adding in some Mr. Huey's gold color mist. And my Mr. Huey's kind of sprays, and then I have to shake it. So I think I've got the colors on there that I want. I'm going to pick it up and let it dry while I'm doing the rest of the layout. So what I like here is that I've got quite a few. Let me put it under the light here. I don't know if that helps you see or not. It has it's picked up quite a lot of the gold sheen, and it's got the see, these are dilutions. I've got London blue and vibrant turquoise as my primary colors there, and then the Mr. Huey's gold. So I think these are going to be gorgeous, but let me set them on the table to dry. And I'll get rid of my craft mat. Look how pretty the imprint is on the craft mat. I probably should clean that with some paper towel. So pardon me while I do a little housework, just not to make any more mess than I need to. My idea here is to have colors that are close to one another on the color wheel. So I've got blues and greenish blues and reddish blues. So everywhere from turquoise and aqua to teal and blue, pure blue and purple. So got that away. Let me to shorten the length of this video, I have actually pre-cut the papers, but I'll kind of show you how I made the decisions on the layers. I'm going to, okay, these are my photos. These are all pictures of Ava in different swimming pools at different times. I don't get very specific about dates here because the point isn't that the events themselves and the vacations, the trips that we took have all been documented well, both in Project Life form, and I think I've done 12 by 12 pages on the individual ones. What I'm doing here is just kind of setting the background. I'm going to glue this down. I think we've got a larger margin up at the top. I'm just running this. I cut this at about, I think, 9 by 12 because I figured it was a couple inches at the top and 1 inch down at the bottom. My next layer is the layer behind which the mermaid's tail is going to go. So I'm going to hold on. I'm not going to glue it to this layer that I have now. I like that in the pin there are some rounded corners. These photos have rounded corners. These little kind of tabs here and these tabs here. So I'm going to go with that. I kind of like that look. Those of you who hate the rounded corners in Project Life probably will poo-poo that idea, but I think it's pretty. So what I'm doing here is kind of adding these accents of purple, and I didn't want to go all the way across here or all the way across here. So I just took a 12-inch strip, chopped it in not exactly in the middle, kind of off to one side, and just let those be staggered there. Now the rest of this is going to be mounted on here. So these photos are going to be mounted on this kind of bubbly looking paper, and I'll do that here. And the bubbly looking paper, I've cut a piece of purple grid print, and I put the photo a little bit wonky on the bubbly paper. So I'm going to put this a little bit wonky on the purple paper so that the border shows more in some spots than it does in others. And I like that that's going to add a little movement to the page. I'm bringing, I shouldn't do that, but I bring these things down. Let me kind of offset that one a little bit there. And then I'll offset this one. None of these papers are, or none of them is particularly identifiable with any collections. I think these purple circly ones, I think that's a Bella Boulevard paper. I have no idea what this is. This is, gosh, I don't know what it is, but it's one of those really nice, thick, textured papers that's just gorgeous. Okay, so I've set that one off a little bit like that, and I'll go here. I love when I make a conscious decision to set something wonky because it explains away lots of goofy mistakes. Okay, now I'm going to somewhat evenly distribute these across this text paper. And how I'm going to do that is, I'm not, there are going to be so many layers, I'm not using my traditional foam layer that I usually mount photos. So this, I think, will have enough texture and height. Actually, let me do my trick of, I've got this one about this far from the end there. I will put this one about that same distance from the end here, and then I'll center this one, which will give it a little bit more, a little broader margin in between. Okay, so that goes like that. I'm going to put this on top of these tabs. I'm going to kind of set wonky there. I'm probably going to go ahead and tape those down Now maybe kind of a little bit offset like that. And I'll put some tape down at the bottom and kind of set that like this. And that leaves me some room for some embellishments. I'm really not planning to do a whole lot of embellishing here. I have some wood pieces over here on my light base, and I'm ready now, I think, to put the mermaid's tail there. And I'm going to put a little, I don't really want it glued down, you know, from stem to stern kind of look. I would like a, so I want to space it so that I have the tail part. Oops, dropped this part. Okay, I've kind of got it at a bit of an angle. And I like the fact that the colors are similar enough. I tried this out, I kind of dry fitted the idea, if you will, in white before deciding to spray paint it or to spray ink it. Let me get this down here. I want lots of that to show, and then I'll kind of place this where it should go, again letting it be down at the bottom. See, it wasn't quite long enough to leave it whole and put the photos on top of it. I wanted more of the tail to show. So let me kind of do this and let it come almost to the edge. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly aligned. Now this can go, and I'm debating whether to put this on foam. And again, I'm going to say there are enough layers, so I'm not going to put it on foam. You know, I put that over the ink, and that was kind of a dangerous thing to do. I try as much as possible, and I'm not very good at it, to do the work within camera range. And it doesn't always work out. Okay, let's actually do the title now. The title here is going to be Our Littlest Mermaid, but I'm going to handwrite Our Littlest, or I'm going to print it and put it up. So I'm going to do the word mermaid kind of overlapping the photos in somewhat in the way Florida overlaps these photos. I'm not sure how that's going to look, to be honest. I've got these stickos, and let me see if I've got the letters to spell mermaid. I'm going to kind of run it. I'll start this M here. And I'm going, because the green in these palm trees, and mind you, I love palm trees, and I went to all kinds of trouble to crop this one so that this palm tree would show. That palm tree no longer exists. We had a bad storm, and this is at Margaritaville in Pensacola, and the palm trees that were surrounding the pool were all blown down or froze that winter. Two of these photos were taken on two different December trips to to Margaritaville. Different Decembers, but that, as you can see, you know, it wasn't freezing in either of those Decembers, but later in February or January or February, we got some horrific cold weather down there, and then it kind of got the trees a little bit unhealthy, and they went down the next time a strong wind came along. Okay, so get the D, and the D is going to go. What I was hoping was that I'd bridge the whole photo so that I had the first letter and the last letter kind of out here in the margins, and that's actually the way it worked out, and that, no thanks to any planning by me, but that helps you to see the whole word, because these stand out a little bit better. The fact that I have the wonky layers behind the photo kind of make it look like Mermaid isn't straight, and you could say it negatively like that. It makes it look like it's not straight, or you could say it makes it not matter whether it's straight or not. Okay, I'm gonna go there. Let me get some glue and do a few of the wood accents. The idea that I have is that these blue and blue-green and purplish colors would look more so bluish if we had a strong accent color that was at the opposite side of the color wheel. So I'm going to actually try that in a challenge at the Secret Not Secret Kit Club this weekend. I have a series there called Getting Messy with Scrappy Kathy. And I do a challenge every time they have a party. I do a challenge on Friday night. I'm going to stick this little camera kind of at an angle there on that photo. Let me get this in camera range and let you see where I'm putting these things. I have a tiny arrow. I think these wood pieces were meant to be confetti, and I actually use them as they are. Okay, so it's going to point, so I've got the arrow pointing to something here, and I'm going to do a word strip there. Again, not quite sure what that's going to be or when, and I will do that off camera. I'm doing this one, this little asterisk right here. I'm going to have some sort of a word strip or subtitle here, and I'll have to show you that when I'm finished. I want to, over here, do my traditional, well, actually I'm going to do it up here on do my traditional double stacked hearts. And let me see if I can get this one placed on there so that the glue sticks. That's maybe not going to work. There's so much, the hearts are thick, and they're small, so they're a little harder to stack, but given that, I think I can make it work. Okay, so off camera, I will add a little bit of journaling down here and the littlest, I'll finish the title and I'll put some kind of a word strip there. But basically, this is my version of this pen, and I've taken the pen off the board and put it on paper, and hope you liked it. Bye.